Like water being ice and water. Wait. I meant liquid and solid at the same time.
That reminds me of my awful church story. We just started. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Marinaut podcast, the only podcast by goblins for goblins. You just joined in mid-conversation about water and ice being the same creatures, and that
Can you believe
brought up some bad memories. But more than anything, like first and foremost, I'd like to welcome back Blake iWi-Fi to the podcast. He's recording with us. Yeah.
Hello.
So how's everybody been? How have you been?
Oh, I've just been getting through it. School's being really weird. But I've been gaming, you know. Just been going at it.
I've been gaming.
Yeah. Like the new Apex Legends season came out last night, so I played that until like 3 a.m, I think. And then I woke up at like 10.
You woke up at 10 and you stayed up till 3?
Yeah.
Oof. Dude, okay, wait. Okay, I was gonna ask how much shit has come out in that game? Like since I last played it.
When did you last? It must have been like 3 years ago at least. Last time you played it, right?
It's been out that long?
I feel like it has. I mean, only 2019.
Oh, okay.
So
really?
actually, it's the 2-year birthday tomorrow on the 4th.
Okay.
Happy birthday,
okay.
Apex Legends! All right, yeah.
All right.
Follow the Marinaut podcast for other gaming facts and sources,
updates, birthdays.
God, can we start like a parody of a gaming news site, like old IGN or like Game Facts or whatever, like well, I guess not Game Facts, Game Source, GameSpot. We start like a parody one of those, like, whoa, welcome back. Looks like we got a new Mario game in the works.
Oh, yeah.
I like that idea, Anthony. I think we should do it. Yeah, that's good. That's genius. So
it'll be in.
Yeah.
Discord. In case you couldn't tell, we record over Discord, and Discord like has enough of a pause where you'll start a sentence and someone else will stop a sentence, and then both of you are like, "Oh, well, I gotta let them finish," and then it's just like radio silence.
It's so good every time.
Oh, it kills me. It's my favorite part of the podcast. It's when we encounter these incredibly awkward pauses. I find them so funny.
They're like a staple now.
They are.
They
are. They're in like every. Okay. I need to issue a proper apology to the Vor enthusiast community. I am incredibly sorry for tricking you into watching our video. I don't know did I tell you the story, Blake?
No.
So last week we recorded the podcast and we took a look at the VeggieTales Vor subreddit. Okay. Not a lot to look at. There's like 4 posts. And after doing that, we finished up the episode and I had to make the thumbnail. And I thought it would be very funny to do the thumbnail as me and Teddy and Patrick's characters sitting inside of like a stomach. I'm phrasing it like that because I don't want to make it sound like it was Vor art, but it was Vor art essentially. Yeah. And I called the episode House of Vorers, the joke being it sounded like House of Horrors, and I posted it. And the next day I woke up and it had 32 views. And first of all, we don't get 32 views, period, let alone overnight. I think we max it like 12 usually. Mm-hmm. And I'm like blown away by this. So I checked the analytics on the video, and strangely enough, all our views are coming from the search bar, which again is weird. No one searches for our podcast and finds it. So I go to look at what tags they're looking up to find it. And in order, the top 3 for 100% of our traffic was Vor audio, and Vor animation. and the average view time was 11 seconds. So they were, and it came overnight. So all these views happened at nighttime. So I'm thinking these people go on YouTube to try and engage in this thing that they enjoy. And they see a little drawing of 3 dudes in a stomach, and they're like, oh yeah, this is for me. And they find
this is great.
They find 3 white dudes talking about Batman fighting the Confederate soldiers.
Is that the first thing we talked about?
No, but
okay.
I guess they didn't hear that part. They would have heard us. I don't even know what we talked about in the beginning.
We're just like, hey, and they're like, oh my god, fucking turning us off.
Yeah, they heard by apes for apes.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, this is not it. This is not Vor. So I'm sorry, everybody. That's my fault.
This. See, apologize. That's great and all. That's good and all. But like, maybe we should keep doing this. But like, and try and attract people from all different sectors of life. Just kind of with a little bit of wordplay and trickery, we can garner more traffic. We've got to start thinking like Dazzer, guys. We've got to start thinking like Dazzer.
Yeah. The next thumbnail is going to be the 4 of us with like massive, almost exposed like cleavage. We'll be like anime girls, like anime women.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's going to bring in the views. It'll be okay. Envision this. It's like the camera's facing downwards. We're all standing together, facing up, like pushing our large breasts together, and the camera's facing down.
We're pushing it up into the camera, and like everybody's 3 blushing.
to 1. Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick, you're overruled this time, buddy. We're going all in.
Blundered.
Oh God. We can't. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you have to draw that, Anthony. And if somebody finds it on your computer, they're gonna be very confused.
So, yeah, that'd be really awkward. I don't know how I would explain that one, because the explanation of like, oh, I run a podcast isn't gonna do it, because that probably raises more questions than it does answers. Yeah, that won't work.
It'd be funny though.
It would be very funny.
It'd be a really good meme for between us, and then who knows? Maybe that turns into huge clickbait, and you get like 2,000 views overnight. A bunch of people just see that shit.
At what point does it go from being a joke? Like, how do you tell when it's a joke and when it's? How do you justify I'm drawing essentially like hentai of my friends?
Yeah. There's a line.
Like, when does it become that? I feel like that's weird.
There's a line.
That's true.
Maybe it's all perspective. If I just think it's not weird, then it's not weird.
Ian, you could do it for this video because we've talked about it like probably for more than 3 minutes at least. So like, I think it justifies that you could make it the thumbnail.
And if we don't, then it's just like a massive letdown. Just like, well, why did they spend so long talking about it? The next video is going to have to start with an apology on that. Like, sorry we spent so long.
Maybe the thumbnail is like you making the thumbnail. It's like it's like a drawing of you as the character, but like actually drawing that. And then it's kind of a little tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, it's a little meta. It's not as weird.
And then the next thumbnail, like if you really want to pull the joke on for more than 2 episodes, then what you do is that the next episode, you just take the thumbnail, you stick it into the next thumbnail as you drawing the last thumbnail, and you just keep doing that over and over again until it's like a paradox thing.
That would hurt. That would. The thumbnails already. I put too much time, more time than I'm willing to admit, into the Vor one. That Vor one was a lot of effort. I worked on like making the stomach shine and stuff. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that. I appreciate that.
It looked good. And hey, it got us, what, 30 views?
It did. Overnight? 11 seconds each.
Sorry, I should have muted
Doesn't even add up to a minute. I can edit. I'll edit that out. Or I'll leave it in so they know what we're talking about. It's not just us laughing.
Yeah. No, it's just us laughing. You could just like cut it out and fade it back in, and we're just laughing, so they just don't get to hear our joke.
They don't get the joke.
Yeah, they just don't get it. That's our inside joke. That's what makes them keep wanting to watch us. It's like, will they ever share the inside joke that they keep laughing at, but they keep cutting out? No. You'll never hear it.
We censor a lot from our episodes.
Really
Like
funny.
what?
Well, like, we can't bring them up. We'll have to censor them. But there's a lot that, like, just like inside jokes, or we'll reveal like our location, and it's like, oh well, we got to cut that because they won't get it, and we don't want them to know it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. On the topic of thumbnails, for the Scott the Woz video I made, I originally for the thumbnail made this like elaborate portrait of Scott that I like painted. And around halfway through, I decided it doesn't really look like him as much as I wanted it to, and I was running out of time to get the video up with a thumbnail, so I instead resorted to just using an actual picture of the man. And I didn't really know what to do with this like painted portrait, so I was like, hey, maybe I'll throw it on Twitter, and that'll bring in some viewers from the art community. Zero interaction with that photo. No one's seen it. I put it up there, nothing.
No. Come
So go follow us on Twitter. I was like,
I want to go see that now.
yeah, go check it out now,
me too.
because I can throw it into the podcast.
I think it looks like him.
Yeah, I thought it turned out all right, and I was like,
That's
this is
really
like,
good.
I was like,
That looks
someone might like
crazy,
this.
Anthony. Come on. That's nuts.
I don't know how to bring in the art community on Twitter. Then again, I don't really know if I
You
want
gotta
them.
use hashtags. Maybe.
Oh, hashtags are too much.
Is that how it works on? Yeah, that's what they do on Twitter. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Twitter's hashtags.
Of course.
One of the things that
All right, let's do
Did it again.
Blake.
one of the things that I've seen on Twitter a lot that's happened. It's like I made a tweet the other day, and it was just me talking like in general to see if anybody wants to play any like certain games with me or anything. And when you list something that's popular, like you don't even need to do a hashtag, people will see it. So like I got on one tweet, only one like, only 3 people clicked on it, but like 223 people saw it.
Ooh.
Dang.
And like there's another one way back when that got like 240 views or something. It's just because I said Modern Warfare in it, and people look on Twitter for Modern Warfare, and then they go on the recent, they see stuff like that.
So what I'm hearing is I need to post Among Us Vor art on Twitter.
Yeah.
I heard
I can
that.
do that.
There's a community for everything on the internet. You could definitely find that one for something a little bit more niche like that.
All right, hard subject shift. Have you guys seen the 2004 King Kong movie by Peter Jackson?
I have not.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
What? I'm the
All
only
right,
one?
next topic.
That was our best bit. That was our best bit.
That's going on the highlight channel that doesn't exist yet.
Boom, compilation, montage.
I've heard it's really good, and I saw a video about why the video game was really good, and I wanted to know if you guys had any opinions on it. Okay, we got one opinion.
See, I fucking knew I knew where you were going with this bullshit, Anthony. I saw through it. You asshole. No, I actually just looked on the Xbox Live store maybe like last week or something. Because I don't have Xbox Live anymore. So like I can only play single player games if I ever do play them. And so I was like, I want to replay King Kong, like the video game, because I loved it as a kid. And I couldn't find it. It's not here. But dude, that game is so good. That game, like, what was my whole childhood, bro. I maybe beat that game like over 100 times, probably. Like, probably more than that. I was in love with it, dude. What did you hear about it?
I heard that it was like fantastic. Well, I'll link the video in the description of this video.
Yeah, I'd love to watch it.
The guy essentially said like Peter Jackson was very involved in the creation of the game. And that's why, because he's a big video game fan. And so he really wanted the game to feel immersive, and the graphics were like insane for the Xbox 360. And essentially it was just a very good game.
No, it was so good. Cause like, it was first person, right? It was first person when you were the the fucking okay, the story of let's go to the basics. The story
Gotta
of King
rewind
Kong,
back to the
right?
beginning. It's
Back
2004.
to the beginning.
It's rewind time.
Peter Jackson, he's just jacked off. He's like, all right, now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna start filming King Kong.
He's jacked off.
All right. And so what? It's like a camera crew. A camera crew's going to like this island and they're like gonna film the island. And they have like some guns with them maybe. And there's like a shipwreck or whatever. And that's the movie. And then it's King Kong. But in the game, you play as like the main dude in the movie, I guess. But like you're in first person mode. And it's like the 30s. So you use like a Thompson, like a fucking Tommy gun with the drum magazine, which is awesome. And like it's kind of like it's super old, and I'm kind of remembering it like as I remembered it as like a kid. So like I'm probably imagining it looking a little bit better than it does. But I remember it looking like so creepy and like just really vivid. Like it was just such a vivid atmosphere for like a video game that was based on a movie. Because like video game adaptations of movies and stuff are usually fucking shit. But this game, dude, it draws you in immediately, and it like doesn't show you how much ammo you have. You have to count it, and you have to like heal yourself and stuff. Like there's no automatic healing, and like you don't have a gun at first. You like have to make spears out of like fucking wood and shit, and you have to like pick out like dinosaur bones and like use those as spears, bro. And eventually you get guns and shit and you get to like mow down stuff. But I remember there's like this mission, bro, where it first introduces the T-Rex, and like you're just chilling. There's like no notion that a T-Rex is gonna be there, you know? You're just kind of like, it's like a regular mission. And then it like bursts out of the wall and it just like chomps this dude, like immediately just like gobbles him up in a second. And so you turn around and your first instinct is to start blasting him, you know? You're like with the Tommy gun, immediately blasting him. And then like the thing you like immediately learn is that like you can't fucking kill it. And so it just chomps you and it kills you in like one hit. So you have to like, the game kind of forces you to like figure out how to get past the fucking T-Rex. And to be honest, I don't remember how you do it. But it's like some puzzle or something. And I just remember that being so like crazy for just like some dumb video game about a dumb movie that actually isn't very good. Spoiler alert. But it just felt...
The movie's not good?
I don't think it's... Well... I don't know.
What about the part where Jack Black's running around in between dinosaur legs? That was something.
Listen, that scene, I don't really remember it that well. I honestly think I may have like blocked that scene out of my head because it's so bad. Like one of the worst scenes ever.
I think it's on par with, and Patrick would have more knowledge on this, the scene where Legolas slides down the woolly mammoth's tusk. You know, the woolly mammoths that lived in Middle Earth.
Oh,
why am
exactly
I the Legolas lore master?
You're the the Legolas lore. I feel like you're our resident Middle Earth expert.
Yeah. I'm the King Kong expert.
I don't know too much about the Middle Earth, but okay.
Yeah, we've got a King Kong expert, a Middle Earth lore expert, a Vor expert, and Blake. What is your expertise? Siege?
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends.
He's
Apex
the game
Legends.
master.
The game master.
The game master. That's good. That's a wide variety.
Blake, what is
topics.
something that you have like an insane level of knowledge in? Like an uncomfortable level of knowledge in?
Yeah, drop it. Drop the bomb.
It used to Rainbow Six Siege, the Tom Clancy game. It used to be that.
The Tom
back in the
Clancy
day.
game.
Is the Tom Clancy game.
Who is Tom Clancy and why is he in every game ever? And why is he in like all the books too? Like who is he?
He's Tom Clancy.
Has he ever served? Has he served in the U.S. Armed Forces? He hasn't.
Wait, who is he? Is he real?
Yeah, he's real. He's real. Yeah, he makes the novels.
Is he the
That's
author?
what I remember now.
Okay, he's the
What does
the
he look
author.
like?
Is he real?
A guy?
Give me a description.
Oh my god, he kind of looks maybe Italian.
Okay. Does he look like someone? Does he look like someone who would break into homes and defuse bombs and fight terrorists?
No.
No. He's
At
gonna
At least I don't think so.
He looks like someone you meet in like the interrogation.
He
room.
must have been in like the military.
Oh, he was. He's also dead.
Oh, he's dead?
He
Yeah, he died
passed
in
on.
2013, yeah.
Did you know in one of his books? Wait, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Is it the wait?
That just gives that just like doxes me. I'm just not gonna say it.
I thought you were gonna say. I think there's a story I heard about Tom Clancy. I don't know how true this is, where he would so accurately describe the inside of some like secret U.S. military ship that he was contacted by the Bureau of Knowledge or whatever that is, and was like, "How do you know this information? Like that's civilians don't have access to this information." And he was like, "It's common knowledge. I'm Tom Clancy."
That's Tom Clancy.
Yeah,
that's Tom.
That game was probably the most like the absurd amount of knowledge I've ever had in anything. It's it
What
took
happened?
well, I stopped playing it. It's gone down the hill. It's not good. It's not
Finally
good anymore.
died.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it. I don't know. I played the game for. I played the game.
Sorry, Patrick sent what is it's a thumbnail from a donkey video. It says Tom Clancy's Fortnite, and it's got a picture of Tom Hanks.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a donkey video. I just saw that on Google Images.
You just thought that was like Tom Clancy fan art?
No, that's not. That's who is that? I know who that is. He's
Tom Hanks. That's Woody, the cowboy.
Woody.
Dude, I used to love Toy Story. I was a Toy Story fanatic, specifically for the scene where they go to the airport.
Oh, in the second one?
That was a sick scene.
As a child, I was like obsessed with like how things worked, specifically in areas that I wasn't allowed to see. And so the idea of the behind the scenes area of the airport, like what was behind those little plastic flaps that the treadmill or whatever you call it, a conveyor belt led to, blew my mind. So Toy Story 2 answered all, it quenched my thirst for knowledge. It answered all my questions.
That's not what they're actually like, right? I've always wondered this. But is it close? I know it's like crazy and there's like giant, like steep, almost like 85-degree like angles in that movie. Like I'm not saying that that's real, but like, does it just like go into a big loop system that's like in a big black room? Is that real?
No. How much of that is Toy Story 2? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Where do my bags go at the airport?
It's a very good question.
It's a good question. Listen, it's a good question.
Was there something that you were obsessed with as a child, Patrick?
Well, probably, but I can't remember. Can't think of one.
I know Pokemon was one that we both loved.
I'm doing what Teddy's doing. I'm looking where the bags go in the airport.
I looked up images and I can't find anything that will answer my question. But Toy Story 2, bro, had like one of the best opening scenes ever. Do you remember that
scene?
Yeah. Where he comes in and
like
it's like
Buzz
the video
dies
game.
Or whatever.
Yeah, he
Buzz
dies. He gets fucking blasted.
I remember vividly the scene where he's running from the spike wall that's like shaped like a hexagon, and then he goes on little bottle cap magnets floating.
Yeah, and they like play music, and it's like probably 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm sure that was the joke.
But it definitely plays music. That is the joke. Why do you remember that? That's 100% the joke.
That's really specific memory. I don't know.
So
because it had such an impact on me, bro.
Teddy's specific knowledge goes to Toy Story 2, it would seem.
My specific knowledge is King Kong, the video game, and Toy Story 2, the movie. And that's about where I stopped being useful.
They both had licensed games, I think. Well, I don't know. I played Toy Story 3 on the Wii. I don't know if Toy Story 2 had a licensed game.
I played a Toy Story game, but it was like a really old one. That probably came out in like maybe 1999 or 2000, but it was based on the first Toy Story. And you played as like maybe Buzz Lightyear.
That wasn't the SNES game, was it? You didn't have a SNES.
No, it wasn't a SNES game. It was like a computer game. It was like a PC game or like a Mac. No, it was a PC.
Ooh, that's okay. What like old PC games did you guys grow up playing? Because we're all gamers here, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Proud
have one.
gamers. What was that?
Insane Aquarium.
Yeah, you played that recently too, though.
Yeah, I played like 2 years ago.
Is it any
It's
good?
like I'll send you the. I think it's pretty fun. You have like this virtual fish tank, and you have to like protect your fish from like aliens that try to come and eat your fish.
Would that be the insane part of the aquarium?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's kind of just part of the aquarium.
God, what is that like? Like the earthworm in the back, like the eyeless creature. Do you see that?
I don't see it.
And like some of the fish, that was like the pregnant fish. I remember it would create other fish.
That looks like fan art, like very inappropriate fan art.
The game is old, right? I don't remember when it first came out, and then they like remastered it like 2016 or something. I don't remember.
Oh my god! So it's a fish. It's a pregnant fish, and behind it are two like xenomorph looking things, and the fish is wearing a little blue bandana. But the way that I looked at it initially, I thought the blue bandana was its mouth, and the little white dots on it were its teeth. And I was so confused why its back. Because if that's true, then its pregnant belly would become like its tumorous back bulge.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
This is the
like
one
the
I played though.
xenomorphs.
This is like the old one.
Oh god!
I've definitely played this.
Did you guys play?
When you don't feed them, they turn yellow. The fish.
Just
They
like
die?
real fish.
Yeah, they die if you don't.
They like sink to the bottom.
Yeah, they like die and their corpse sinks to the bottom. Yeah. I even know that. I know the sound they make when they die too. Like, I don't want to make it.
Can you make it for me right now?
No.
You gotta make it.
Insane aquarium sounds. I'm gonna find it.
That's the sound it makes?
Oh
Yeah,
my
like
god!
any
Every time
fish-
they die.
Yeah, and like you always are scared when that happens because like you need the fish make money, right? They make you money, and that's how you beat the level.
This isn't an
And you click
altruistic.
on it.
You're not saving these fish. You're making a profit off of them.
I am. We are. Yeah.
We are.
But that's the only way to beat the level, though.
It reminds me of those early iOS games that were very focused on, like, did you play Tap Frogs or whatever, where the whole goal was just make your main frog go have coitus with other frogs to produce new breeds?
What?
I don't remember that. I remember
like,
Dragon Veil.
I was going to bring up Dragon Veil, yes!
Okay, I remember.
What is that?
Dragon Veil was where you, I don't know, how do you describe it, Blake?
So you got your floating islands, right? And then you got your the dragon exhibits where you keep all your dragons.
I know what you're talking about.
And then you got bigger island, and you get you get two dragons in there. They make baby. You try and get better dragon, and then
it's like cock, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like what?
God. The running
Clash
joke.
of Clans?
The running joke is that Clash of Clans. I wrote that joke, that same joke I wrote into a video recently.
It is like cock.
I figured it was something relating to a game like that.
I think Dragon Veil was my first. I can remember like the music is kind of playing in my head where it's like that it sounds like something that would play at a Renaissance festival.
Mm.
That was probably my first iOS obsession. That and Pocket God, where you killed little islanders.
Oh, I loved Pocket God. Yeah, they don't
Named
make
them after my family.
Yeah, really like go through therapy on my own, just killing them, putting in whoever I was mad at that day, kill them. It's great. They don't make games like that for phones anymore, dude. Like, oh my god, dude. I feel like I'm living in a surreal reality sometimes because today on YouTube I got an ad for a Chinese like video game, a Chinese like phone game, and the ads are like I've seen them for probably a year or two straight now, and they're just like nonsensical. Like the English is like very broken. They don't really make any sense at all. The animations are crazy. It's usually very like sexist and degrading. It's just like usually pretty shocking. But like at this point, I'm used to it. But this just blew me away. It came in, and I've already seen an apology video, an apology advertisement from them where they're like, we're sorry that we put in false marketing in our trailer or in our advertisement or whatever. But this time, these two animated fucking characters came to me and they're like, hello, we're very sorry that we keep making nonsensical ads that don't really appeal to American audiences. Like, we're from an Eastern culture that doesn't understand like how like to market our game. And I was like, what? What am I watching?
That feels like a parody.
It feels like a parody, dude. Like, it's unbelievable. And they just like, and they were like, to like, for our apology, like to say sorry and to show you guys how much we care about you, log on to our game and get like one free chest to unlock or whatever.
Get your single free chest.
Yeah, they took like a minute to apologize for like not culturally vibing, I guess, and then just like said see ya. Like, I don't think the problem is the culture at all. I think the problem is that you don't give a fuck and you just put out whatever the hell you want, you know? Like, I don't think that's the reason everybody hates your games and won't play them. Marketing is just insane.
I think a lot of it is the marketing. I love and hate.
It makes me feel like I'm going crazy sometimes.
I feel like Raid Shadow Legends would probably be underneath that whole idea as well.
Oh my god, Raid is probably the biggest offender.
You think so? I think because like I think their ads are like at least they're annoying and shit, but they're at least like cohesive enough that I can like sit through it.
But they make me angry. Like, just seeing them.
They do.
Just like, especially when I'm watching a YouTube video and they're like, you can see the sadness and pain in the YouTuber's eyes. And like, this episode is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. It's like, John, you don't have to do this, Mr. Tron.
So true.
Did John Tron do one?
Oh, he does them like, he does War of Tanks. Yeah.
Oh,
join me in World of Tanks and join my clan, but hurry.
What's like the robot one? Like the mecha one or whatever?
Roblots.
Yeah, that one.
I don't know. The
join
robot
me in
mecha
Clash
one?
of Tanks.
You had one where like it's like this bad mobile game. It's like War of Tanks, but it's like you're like in these mechas. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah.
Pacific Rim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's one movie I want to see called Reign of Fire, and the plot is so it eases you into everything. It's the real world, but dragons are real. But we didn't know that. So like we unearthed dragons by accident and just unleashed this apocalyptic universe where like dragons now exist and are burning everything. And it's got Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey playing like scavengers trying to hunt down dragons in the year 2020. And I was like, that's
not far off. Dude, actually, I've seen half of that movie, I think.
Have you really?
Like, yeah, because I was at, I mean, I'm just going to say his name. Sorry, I'm going to make you put in a little more effort, Anthony. But I'm going to
No worries.
say his
Sometimes
name
I just leave them in.
That's really funny.
Sometimes I just leave our friends
house.
That's really that funny. One will get edited.
Yeah. But anyways, bleep that out. I was at his house, and I think I remember Matthew McConaughey in it. Is he bald in that movie?
He is bald and tattooed.
Yes, dude. Then I remember how he dies in that movie. Like, I remember that so vividly, and I remember him. A friend
jumps off a building.
Yeah, he leaned over to me and he was like, "See, that's how most countries like represent America right there. Like that's how they think we are." And I was like, "Oh," because I think he like dies in some heroic way or something where he was like What does he do? What does he do?
He jumps off a building with a battle axe, and then a dragon eats him as he's like going to beat the dragon on the head with an axe.
Yeah, and I remember my friend was telling me like that his character was supposed to be a representation of the United States, and I was like, wow, pretty cool. I guess.
You guys like 8? That's kind of deep for an 8-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this called again?
Reign of Fire. But I think the technology, like the way they portrayed dragons, was revolutionary, and it's kind of how we've portrayed them in media since.
Dang.
Like their behaviors and how they fly and all that.
You telling me The Hobbit ripped off Reign of Fire?
Have you seen the behind-the-scenes footage of Benedict Cumberbatch playing Smaug?
Oh, yes.
It is so funny.
He's just like crouched down and everything. Just
yes.
He's like slithering like a snake, and he's really like putting on such a crazy voice, and he's slithering around like a snake, and everyone's just kind of like filming him and watching him. Like, listen. Acting is awesome, and acting is like a good thing, and it's hard and whatever. But like, if I was there, dude, I would laugh. I would laugh. I wouldn't be able to help it. I would totally laugh. I would be like boom mic, and I would just start shaking because this dude's slithering around on the floor like, "Where's my gold?" You know, like that's just crazy.
That is what it is. It's a whole scene.
I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. God, that's just so fun. I mean, when you're getting paid millions of dollars, that must be so easy to do.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
When it's like, hey, we're going to pay you millions. All you got to do is, like, normally, I would not get into a skin-tight suit and role-play a dragon in front of a crowd. But with $1 million on the line, I might. There's a very good chance I would.
Come on.
All you got to do is get on all fours and kind of, like, growl and talk about gold. And I don't know how they did the flying scenes. I don't know if he, like, flapped. They might have done that.
He definitely flapped his arms.
Have you seen behind the scenes? Oh, sorry.
No. Speak, child.
Have you seen behind the scenes of the Avengers, like where they're staying from the green screen and everything, and they're just jumping around and like they're just like Thor smashes his hammer on the ground, but he does it so over exaggerated, like without the effects, it just looks really silly.
I think movies look really dumb without effects. I think actually I would pay. What's a movie that you would pay to watch without effects? A 2-hour cut, no special effects, no music.
Avatar.
That is so good.
That's actually a really good answer.
That is a really good one. I was gonna say like Avengers Endgame or like Infinity War or one of those. But like now that I think about it, I think a lot of that is just like if you cut out the CGI, that's like literally minutes of screen time down the drain. Like that makes the movie so much shorter because some of those shots are just pure CGI, you know? But I would love to see just like the green screen parts.
Yeah, it's just the actors just standing in front of the green screen and like you're just watching them do that and
like
over exaggerate.
Like fight a bunch of enemies, like a bunch of soldiers, and like they're all like composited in on top of each other. So I want to see each individual person's like movements and shit and what they're doing to fight like these invisible enemies. Like that's gold. Release it. That's all I'm saying. Release the green screen cut.
Oh, that'd be good.
I want to see that for The Hobbit though, The Last Hobbit.
Oh,
yes.
Just so I can see the 5 armies, like the copy and pasted, like
it's like 5 guys,
that are copy and pasted. I just want to see one. There's like an army, and there's like 3 people. That's it.
It's so bad. The
Doing
Battle of the
all,
5
like,
Armies
different
is so bad.
Did you know what's the weird about The Hobbit?
What?
It's like shiny.
Yes,
it's so shiny.
The bloom effect is.
Why
so
did they put? Yeah, why did they put the bloom like on everything?
I don't know.
Who's the director for The Hobbit?
Peter Jackson of King Kong fame.
See, listen, I've learned it's Peter. It's like half Peter Jackson, half Andy Serkis, acclaimed CGI actor.
What, for The Hobbit?
Yeah, he directed a lot of scenes because Peter Jackson was so busy directing so many scenes because they were so like behind schedule or whatever that Andy Serkis ended up filming like a lot of the CGI stuff, which in my opinion is why a lot of it looks so like weird and bad and disjointed, is because it's like two different directors, bro.
That
when you learn that, it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
How devastated are we going to be when someone comments, "You guys stop talking about The Hobbit. It's not funny."
And
or we're going to lose everything we stand for.
I get that comment, I'm going to keep bringing it up. They can't stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the old Sonic movie before they completely remade it? How that Sonic looked?
Oh, he had human teeth too.
Yeah,
they did.
I am begging Hollywood. This is like my cry to Hollywood. Stop sending cartoon characters to the real world. It never works. It's never good. Stop.
Give that actor a break. Like, please stop having him ride in a car with a CGI character on a road trip to some other destination. That dude has been in at least 5 other movies with
like James Marsden or whatever.
Yeah, dude, he's been in like 5 other road trip cartoon and live action movies, bro. And yeah, they need to stop. I don't know why they're so scared to just like make a movie about like Sonic and like make it weird and like make it his world instead of having it to bring him into the human world. Why aren't they ever like creative? It's so weird. You know what's really upsetting is that Blake, you and I, that was like the last movie we saw in theaters, I think. At least it was mine.
It was the last movie you saw before it all crumbled down.
Yeah, before theaters went extinct.
Was Sonic really the last movie you saw in theaters?
Yes.
It's kind of upsetting to think about.
God.
Yeah. Dude, I've been grappling with it all year. Like, it's really tough.
Grapple is one of those words that I only ever hear in the context of either like video games, like press X to grapple, or video games, press X to use grappling hook.
Yeah.
I never use it. I never hear it outside of that.
I'm happy to tell you that's the first time I think I've used that word in that way in like at least a year. So it goes to show you how much that fucked me up mentally, that fucking movie. Yeah, Blake, it was the last movie I saw. And sorry, I just saw the GIF.
Sorry, Patrick sent a Doug Walker GIF. Check that off the bingo list too. Doug Walker mentioned.
Doug Walker.
Yeah, I had a commenter. Someone commented on our YouTube video, our YouTube intro tier list, and they said that they kind of liked Doug Walker, and it kind of brought me out of this haze. I had this moment of realization where people are like listening to our opinions, like we, when it's just us hanging out as a group of friends in a car, it's totally okay to rip into YouTubers. But now we're doing it on a public platform.
Yeah, we really are. We're going for it.
There's people hearing, although we're punching up still, so it's okay.
You can still like a nostalgia critic, and we can disagree.
Oh, so no, it's fine.
Yeah,
we still love you.
I think I just had that moment of realization where people are hearing us.
Yeah, that's odd. What did he say exactly? Like,
why does he still have a mustache? He said, "Oh, I actually kind of like the nostalgia critic intro, and the skits are my favorite part too." And I commented and was like, "Yeah, the intro music's pretty good, but I'm not a big fan of the skits." And he's like, "Well, to each their own." He was super cool about it. He's like, "To each their own. Like everyone can have their own opinion. Very nice, very sweet." Huh. But I felt bad for just like ripping into this dude's favorite YouTuber.
If he's listening now.
Yeah, if you're listening.
Sorry. Hey, if I've barely watched him, I only make fun of him because he looks funny to me. So if that means anything to you, you know, you can take it.
I only make fun of him based on appearances.
I might get some shit for this, but him and the angry game reviewer, or what's his name? They're not the same person, right?
Angry Joe?
No.
Angry game reviewer.
That's everybody. Oh, AVGN, the angry video game nerd.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Who is that?
He's like the forefather of gaming YouTube.
Yeah, okay, I know who you're talking about now.
He's the patriarch.
Yeah, he's like the saint of
gaming.
Oh, they're not the same person. He now goes by Cinemassacre.
Who was I thinking of?
I was thinking of Angry Joe.
Oh, we're to see like a wrestling match of Doug Walker and Linkara.
A wrestling match?
Yeah.
Who would win in a battle of strength? Who would win? They're both really scrawny men.
How old is Doug?
36.
How old is Linkara? I've never seen a Linkara video, by the way.
Wait, let me look up Doug Walker's actual age. He wears like the fedora. He talks like this. I'm Linkara. Today we'll be discussing.
What does he discuss?
Is he part of Channel Awesome?
Yes, or he was. I think he's like inactive. Oh, I lied. Doug Walker's 39. I need to brush up on my NC lore.
Yeah, your lore, bro.
Doug Walker trivia of the episode.
He used to be on Channel Awesome. I was wondering why he was on the Channel Awesome wiki.
There's a channel. Okay, mark that for the Wiki 2 video. Wiki 2 Wiki.
I don't think there's gonna
name
be
it
too much on here.
I'm sure there are people. There's got to be Nostalgia Critic fanboys.
Dude, they have every episode of the Nostalgia Critic like documented on here, the title and everything.
Wait, actually?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Wait, the Angry Video Game Nerd has an entire movie
too.
You can make a movie?
Do they have every Nostalgia Critic script on here?
If we get big enough, can we make a Marinauts movie where we go to real life New York City as our cartoon characters?
Yeah.
And there's a big blue beam, like a big blue
Always
light.
New York.
Yeah.
With James Marsden. It's a road trip
James
movie.
Marsden is there. And the big blue light is shooting into the sky, and we have to stop it before all the residents of New York City turn into lizard men.
And there's four of us, so like
that's
one
the
can
plot
sit
of The Amazing Spider-Man.
Is it? Oh yeah, they all turn into well, they don't. They almost all turn into lizards.
Can you believe that that's a plot of a Spider-Man movie? But anyways, yeah. So we're going to the big blue laser. Stop it. We're in New York.
James Marsden.
James Marsden drove us there. Who do we run into? Who do we like run into? Who's like?
Oh, who's your dream cameo?
Yeah, who's the cameo?
I kind of want Jack Black because he had a funny cameo in the Muppets movie. He played like a homeless guy with anger issues.
Jack Black. I was thinking like some fictional character, and then Jack Black comes out of nowhere.
Gilbert Gottfried would be a really funny person just to run into.
Can we get Jim Davis, the author of? I want the author of Garfield. Like no one would get the joke because no one really sees the guy. But I want Jim Davis to make a cameo in our movie.
Yeah. Can we interview him? Can we interrogate him?
Can we kill him? It's a parody of the scene from No Country for Old Men where we like execute him in the gas station. James Marsden's filling up the car with gas and we go inside and it's like alien antics ensue. You know, we're from a different universe. And one of us just like straight up murders Jim Davis.
Well, dude, come on. This is gold, you know? This is Hollywood level.
How badly would our redesigns look? Our realistic redesigns look?
Okay, are we going like realistic CG?
Yeah. It's like that. It's realistic CG. Like it's kind of like Detective Pikachu, where they keep the original kind of proportions and everything, but they add like a hyper realistic texture.
I think we'd look like the CG SpongeBob characters in Sponge Out of Water, but I want more detail than that. So we've got like more texture than that, but kind of along that level. And that's
so
what
in
we
the
look
style,
like.
kind of like a Pixar movie, but like the details are more to the
I
point where
want
it's
to look
almost
slimy.
creepy.
Yeah, I want to look slimy and nasty because I've got like tentacles and shit, and like Patrick's a squid. Make his eyeball huge and like nasty, and and then like
oh yeah,
I think that'd look good. I think that'd be a nice style, and we could have like New York City, and we meet James Marsden. We all go for like what coffee. And we eat.
Okay.
We like talk about the plot. What happens in these movies? I genuinely don't know. Besides, they like go on a road trip. I can barely remember what happened in Sonic.
Something happens in New York City. Like there's always in Enchanted. There's like a dragon. In the Smurfs, I don't know. They have Gargamel. I don't really want to compare Gargamel to a dragon, but something happens with Gargamel. What's our New York set piece for the finale?
Times Square.
I want a subway fight. I want to fight on a subway station.
I was honestly gonna say Subway after that, like a crazy subway fight. Who's the villain?
Gilbert
who's
Gottfried.
the villain? Gilbert Gottfried plays the villain.
Gilbert Gottfried. But who is he? Is he just Gilbert Gottfried, or is he Gilbert Gottfried playing somebody?
I was about to do a Gilbert Gottfried impression, and I stopped like the second I inhaled to begin it because I know I could not pull through on that.
Dude, I did the exact same thing earlier when Blake first said Gilbert Gottfried. I was about to go for it, but I pulled back. It's too much.
Can we all do our god awful Gilbert Gottfried impression?
Yeah, if we all do it at the same time, I'll feel good about it.
I'm trying. Okay, let me hear him in my head.
No, let me hear what he sounds like first. Hold
That's
up.
cheating. That's cheating. We gotta go in blind.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Blind.
3, 2,
I'm
one.
not doing it.
Gilbert Gottfried. What does he sound like? How do you do a Gilbert Gottfried impression? I'm Gilbert. Gilbert. I can't. I'm not. I give up. How do you do a Gilbert Gottfried impression? His voice is so distinct.
What's that line he always says?
He says, "I'm Gilbert Gottfried."
I'm Gilbert Gottfried.
I don't know. What is he? He's a trademark.
He just announces himself wherever he
walks
goes.
into a room and he says, "I'm Gilbert Gottfried."
I'm Gilbert Gottfried.
Hello, it's me, Gilbert Gottfried.
That sounds like Roz from Monsters Inc. Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Oh, that's good.
Papers Wazowski.
Papers, please, Mr. Wazowski.
Have you played Papers, Please? It's a great game on Steam.
We're going to New York. We're gonna ride the subway.
Get in. It's a one-way ticket.
James Marsden. We're picking him up on the way.
Gotta go get James Marsden.
You just sound like
came here to chew bubblegum.
The SpongeBob
and I'm out of bubblegum.
The SpongeBob lady.
The
chocolates.
Oh, what did he say?
Chocolate.
That'd be good. We could put that in the movie, like a nice
or
chocolate.
the slug from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, Roz.
Put them all in the movie.
Yeah, they're all there in New York.
Just steal the idea.
It's Monsters Inc.
This is the Infinity War of the Marinauts podcast.
Crossover. Oh, I lied. Can we get Doug
crazy.
Walker to play the villain?
Doug Walker will be the villain.
I think that would really pull things together if Doug Walker was like the villain.
I think it would. That makes sense.
He could be a good villain. I agree with that.
Yeah, he does like his maniacal laugh.
Yeah.
Why?
What's his plan? Like, why are we trying to stop him?
What does he sound like? What's his plan?
Yeah.
He's trying to review The Hobbit before we do.
Oh, that's good. So his big blue beam in the sky is signaling that he is currently watching The Hobbit. And so that's why we traveled to New York City, because we've got enough time to make the drive before he finishes the first movie. So
he's going to turn everyone in New York into Hobbit fans.
We have to stop him.
We have to stop him. We have a copy of The Hobbit that we have to plug in. We have to put into like a Blu-ray to like mass play it to the world so they can see how bad it really is. Specifically, the scene where he's stuffing his bra with gold. They have to know the truth.
Legolas jumping up the bricks, like it's just all the worst scenes, just one after another. What
it's
is
a compilation
this, like...
we made in like Windows Movie Maker of the worst scenes, edited like a fan edit.
Got like you got the Sandstorm song playing in the background. It's just the old Movie Maker font with the blue background. It's like top 10 worst
Hobbit scene. Worst Hobbit
Top 10
scenes.
Worst Hobbit scene.
Top 10 worst Hobbits. Number 10. I don't know. I don't even think there's 10 hobbits I can think of off the top of my head to make the list.
Could you
Bilbo,
name...
Frodo, Sam, the other two, the twins.
You gotta name them.
You could throw Gollum in there.
Oh yeah, he's a hobbit. His brother who dies, Deagle or whatever.
Deagle and Smeagol.
Deagle and Smeagol. The guy that is like, he's like,
Pippin and
I'm
Merry.
going on an adventure. He like yells it too.
What about the guy who has the huge feet at the beginning?
They all have big feet.
No, you remember like this? They're at his birthday. He's at Bilbo's birthday, right?
He's got big feet.
Yeah,
The big like, fat guy.
I don't know. Never mind. You have to watch the scene again. True fans will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He has like his feet on like the table. He's like calling all the names of like the families that live in the Shire or whatever.
I have no memory of this. I told you, you're the resident Middle Earth expert.
Send you
You really are. He really is. That's crazy. Blake, I think I saw that with you.
Seen which one?
Yeah, they need to let it die.
The last Star Wars movie that they came out with? The Last Jedi? No.
Yeah, we did see it together.
Yeah, dude, I hated that.
Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. I remember coming out of that and like I was like fucking fuming and I was like yeah, we saw it with a big group of dudes and like everyone was fucking furiously like debating. And I remember I asked you, Blake, what you thought of it, and you're like, I thought it was okay. It's kind of fun.
I didn't grow up with Star Wars the way everyone else in that group did personally. So like for me, Star Wars has always just been something that I just enjoy watching. Like I haven't really gone too much into the lore before, but like really the biggest thing for me about the last Star Wars movies was Kylo Ren. I loved Adam Driver's character so much, and that just was really what had me through each one of the last three movies was just Adam Driver's character. And I don't know, I personally thought it was like it wasn't the best, but like if I had to give it on the Anthony Fantano scale, it'd be like a mid to strong 4, I'd say.
Like, I
like that Anthony Fantano scale.
What?
It's where you say a number, but you put an adjective in front of it, such as light. It makes no difference.
Strong.
It's still a 7.
Yeah, I love that he does that because it doesn't make a difference at all.
Wait, so what did you give it?
I'm gonna give it a wet 4.
7?
No, you gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4.
Oh,
it was like it wasn't like the bad. It wasn't like good, but it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't just awful.
Yeah,
like I feel like that's like one of the hottest takes I could probably offer. In terms
I agree.
Hot, dude.
I like hot takes. I like having a conflict in our group.
Yeah,
it can't be a hive mind. We got to have some sort of debate or something.
Are we looking for? Okay, I'll break the mold here. I like the first 2 movies of the sequels, and I would say that the third one is awful. The first one is good because it's basically the 4th movie. So, the 4th movie is already a good movie. I get a kick out of episode 7. I like all the characters introduced. The plot is kind of fresh, but it's kind of boring. So it's like an easy 7 for me, maybe 6. Episode 8, I actually really enjoyed. Not entirely. I thought pretty much everything that wasn't on the island was really boring. But the stuff on the island was really fun. I thought it had a very cohesive story, good themes, good messages. I got a kick out of it. I think Rian Johnson's a really good director. and episode 9 was god awful. Probably one of the worst Star Wars movies I've seen.
Yeah.
I liked episode 8, but the thing that turned me off on episode 8 the most was definitely Rose.
The women. I see a lot of people complain about the women in that movie. I just think it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's a fair complaint because a lot of the issues are they happen to be the women. I'm not saying the problem is that they are women, but the female characters that they wrote in weren't explored the way they should have been. They weren't written well. That's not the fault of the actors, nor their.
What's her name? Rose or whatever.
Rose was tragically underused.
Dude,
could have been great.
I feel bad for her, man. That person who plays her, I don't know her real name, but
Kelly Marie Tran.
Like, they bullied the shit out of her, and then Disney like just cuts her out of the next movie. That's just so sad.
Was there a reason why John Boyega was barely in the episode 9?
Because he called Disney out for being kind of like racist, I think. And they're like,
probably.
Oh, bye, John Boyega. You don't get any screen time anymore.
And they also didn't know what to do with his character. See, that's what I noticed about episode 8 is like,
what
in episode 7 he's like he's like a stormtrooper, right? And he's like, I don't want to be a stormtrooper anymore. I'm sick of this. And he learns to fight for like the good guys, to like or like to kind of like fight for what he believes in. And then in episode 8, it's like it starts with him trying to escape and run away, and he has to learn to fight and for what he believes in and be a good guy, like again. So, but this time he has to go to like a prequel planet, like a prequel casino planet.
Yeah, that was rough.
And that's his character arc. Like they really, and then in the third one, he's just there. And they give him a black girlfriend.
A prequel planet.
Oh yeah,
it does sound. It does. That place does feel like something George Lucas would create. It does.
It's so bad. That's what I thought.
Especially like, those animals.
The theater, dude.
Ew, those weird little horses.
Yeah, that whole part is just weird. Like that whole like, oh my god, they race horses here. How evil is that? And
yeah, the whole like they sell weapons. That's all they care about is the money because they sell weapons to both sides. Oh my god, it's so deep.
The rich get richer.
Do you guys? Do you guys remember?
Rich. That's it's like the theme of the movie.
Eat the rich.
Do you guys remember when we saw the like when we did the Star Wars marathon for the first time, and every single time George Lucas did something we didn't like, we would just call him out on it?
Oh, dude,
George.
Just be George.
Well, we had to stop because it was so frequent. We genuinely had to stop the running joke because like we couldn't keep up with it. Like that, the cringy stuff occurred so much that we couldn't even keep up with our own joke.
It was hard in the original
Which one's the
movies.
cringiest, you think? The second?
Second, easy. The romance stuff is so bad. Where it's like, I love you so much it hurts. I couldn't do it.
You like, dude, you like the scene where he like levitates the pear into Patty's mouth?
No, it's onto her fork and she like forks it and then she puts it in her mouth.
See, you've got he knows more than I do, yeah.
It's a fake pear. It's a CGI pear that she eats. It's so obvious. She's chewing nothing. She's like, thanks for the pear, Anakin. Like, what is that?
and the originals have like George Lucas's dirty, muddy, stinky fucking fingertips all over them. Yeah, his paw prints are all over him because he like in A New Hope, dude, he makes the part where they go to Mos Eisley, like the cantina, he makes it almost unwatchable with all like the extra CGI shit he adds in. Like I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the dancing like aliens. Yeah, the why'd you
yeah. No, but even in like episode 4, like A New Hope, they're walking and like he adds in like a big giant CGI dinosaur that walks in front of the screen at the same time that's happening. Like a stormtrooper in a giant Jeep is driving down the road, and then once the stormtrooper, the Jeep passes like a fucking like a little falls off of a horse on the right side of the screen, and like it's all CGI. It's like, why did you put that in?
Alien takes a big poo-poo.
I get wanting to put like more aliens in, right?
Yeah,
because like the prequels like introduced a bunch of aliens, but like the only aliens you really saw in the original was like the Mos Eisley puppet kind of aliens, you know?
Yes.
So you want to have like more aliens walking around, I get, right? But
yeah,
why he has to add like a gimmick to everything. That's what I've noticed. Like, yeah, they fall off or they like fart or they, I don't know. It's like so.
It's awful. Well, I understand wanting to make your world feel more alive. What I don't understand is wanting to make a desert outpost on an outer rim planet feel more alive. That should not feel alive. That should feel barren and empty. It should not have weird two-legged dinosaurs pooping so that my Jar Jar Binks can step in it and go, ooh, you're so stinky, or whatever he says.
He adds the rocks around 2D2 for no reason.
Yeah. He changes the yell that Obi-Wan makes so it's still some otherworldly noise. It's terrifying.
We're living in the bad timeline.
You've been in the bad timeline.
Were there any good changes? I'm trying to think if there were any good ones.
He probably made them.
There was actually one where they changed the emperor to not look like a tumor on like the
bug eyes.
Yeah, that's like a good change.
That is a good change. I respect that change. That one makes sense.
I'm just thinking about the face and I'm laughing because it looks like
it's like prosthetic eyes over his eyes. Yeah. It looks like Play-Doh.
It's a Play-Doh chimpanzee like gremlin creature. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's a good edit. That's a good edit.
That's a good edit. I agree with that.
They have the Ewoks blink, which is cool.
When he said Jar Jar is the key to all of this, they should have arrested him. They should have arrested him. A citizen's arrest. They should have stopped him then. Like,
he should have been clubbed with a nightstick in the temple.
He should have been stabbed like Caesar, bro. Like in the Senate room, like all the producers, all the editors just get up and they just start going at George Lucas once he says Jar Jar's the key to all of this. Like, that's what needed to happen. And George, listen, I don't wish any harm on you. Listen, I'm a big fan. I like Star Wars. But you deserve to die like Caesar.
Oh my goodness.
All right, you're gonna have to cut that.
Cut that out.
What, wishing death upon a public figure?
Yeah. Yeah, keep that in. I think that's good.
Like a 13 viewer podcast. Just
Death threats near the end.
George Lucas is one of the viewers. He's just gonna see that and he's gonna.
What did you do if George Lucas is one of our biggest fans?
I know.
Like, I love the Marinauts. They're so good.
I just want to see George Lucas stabbed. Like, holy cow!
Like fucking Caesar.
He was gonna produce the Marinauts the movie.
Damn. I guess you really got cut out now.
Have you seen the original? Not the originals, the prequels, Blake? Or did you like them or no?
I didn't like the first two. I didn't mind the third. Personally.
I think the consensus.
Yeah. It's pretty normal.
The first two, like, so kind of when episode 7 came out, that was actually my first time watching any of the Star Wars movies. So like my first time watching any of the Star Wars movies was when we were all doing the big watch party. And I remember coming out of it like after the first 3, really enjoying the end of the third movie and kind of how it sets up the original 3. But the first 2 are just really painful to get through. I hate Jar Jar. He's a dumb character. He's dumb. Just doesn't deserve to be in the movie. Because he's just so dumb. Like, I don't listen. Like, the third movie did things right. The first 2 they just didn't.
Everybody gets like exasperated when they talk about the prequels. It's really funny.
I wonder if people liked the prequels because that was their first exposure to Star Wars. Like Indiana Jones is arguably a good series with like it's a good premise. and you could put that character in most situations, and it would be enjoyable to watch. And the first 3 are really good, and the 4th is terrible. But there's something still good about the 4th because it is that classic character in those fun, actiony situations. And I think if you showed someone only the 4th Indiana Jones before even showing them the other 3, there's a chance they might like it simply because it's a new and interesting concept and they like the world and all that. If it's the same with the prequels, they don't know that there's better versions of these stories out there. If you just show them the first 3, they're going to sit there and think, well, I like these characters, I like the world, these are good movies. And they just get better from this point on.
Yeah. Wow. Well said.
You guys are idiots if you think that.
But no, that makes perfect sense because Indiana Jones 4 suffers from George Lucas syndrome. Like
it does. Although he was on all of them.
Wow. He had his grubby little fingers on the Indiana Jones franchise.
Grubby
His
little
grubby little he probably
fingers.
does have grubby little fingers. I have grubby little fingers
I feel really
too.
bad.
Why? Do you think he's one of our listeners?
He's one of our listeners. I mean, he's like, what is he? Like a multi-billionaire? He doesn't give a shit. You know, I can say whatever the fuck I want about you, George Lucas. George Lucas.
Doing his free time.
Pretty sure people have said worse about him.
No, yeah.
No,
Than some random people.
I'm sure he's received death threats. Many.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, what do you think he does now? Like, with all that free time, if you're a creative individual like George Lucas, but you're too afraid to re-enter the Hollywood sphere because of how you've been treated in the past, what do? You've got all the free time in the world.
Well, isn't he old?
Yeah.
Create a YouTube channel.
I don't think he wants to make any more movies, right?
Dude, what would you do if George Lucas had a YouTube channel where he was uploading like Star Wars fan films? I'd lose my mind.
That's the best timeline. That's the best timeline. That's the one we're not in.
Or he's like reviewing the new ones.
Hey everybody! So today I'm gonna watch.
Did he like not like the new ones anyways?
And they just drop Rose.
No, I think he hated
Rose. Where does she go?
If you just
I don't know why he sold the franchise if he didn't want them to ruin it.
Because he wanted $4 billion.
Wasn't he already rich at that point?
Yeah, but $4 billion's a cool number.
I guess.
He's like, here, come on. That's what they said.
I just feel like he'd have just a YouTube channel with no face or anything, where he just does YouTube videos and like 1,000 people are subbed to him, and that's it. I feel like that's something he would do.
He's a Let's Play channel.
Yeah, he plays games. He plays Crash Bandicoot Racing. That's his
Lego
specialty.
Star Wars trilogy.
He only plays Star Wars related media.
He uploads gameplay of Battlefront 2.
Playing Knights of the Old Republic. This one's pretty good. This one puts a lot of my work to use. I like this one.
One of my favorites. One of my favorite RPGs out there.
One of my favorites. Dude, I would sub. I would lose my mind. Can we hire a George Lucas impersonator to do that?
You can call him Fiverr.
That sounds horrible. That sounds like a horrible idea.
To hire a George Lucas impersonator to make a Let's Play, like one Let's Play video. It wouldn't be a series. It'd be a single video of him doing a George Lucas impression.
I don't like impersonators. Is that the right word?
Yeah, but that's
I don't want to say imposter.
He plays Among Us.
I don't know, dude. I have a bad taste in my mouth after what's his name, Alec Baldwin.
Oh yeah. Okay, we get a good impersonator. We get Alec Baldwin to play George Lucas.
No, please.
And he does like the worst impression. And he plays Lego Star Wars for one episode and we edit it together. Dude, I would kill for that.
So I'm going to try and see if I can find anything on Fiverr.
Oh, he doesn't even need Fiverr. Fiverr's for like starving celebrities.
Oh, Tony Hawk's on Fiverr.
Oh.
So is I mean, I guess they might be consider that, but what's his face? Gilbert Gottfried's also on Fiverr.
Gilbert Gottfried.
The dude who plays Malfoy is on
Markiplier on there?
I'm sure he is.
Do you think we could, if we paid him enough money, if we paid Markiplier enough money, I don't know how much it would cost. We could gather enough like footage, like voice information for a Let's Play. Keep sending him stuff like, oh, I think green is sus. Green vented. And then clip it together to make it sound like we're playing with Markiplier. That'd be really funny.
Holy shit. That's brilliant. Like that's such a good idea, Anthony.
God, it would cost hundreds of dollars, but it'd be so hilarious. Just like, it's just us talking, then he's like, I agree. Great joke.
Good joke. Ha ha
ha. Try the left hallway.
Holy shit.
That'd be so funny.
I have to pee.
Yeah, I think that's it. We have 2 hours of content that we're gonna have to whittle this down.
Yeah, damn.
So for those of you who made it this far, thank you so much for listening, for watching. If you want to, please leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want. I don't think it really does anything. Comment, helps us with the algorithm. More importantly, go check out iWiFi on Twitch at twitch.com/iWiFi, I think. https://
www.twitch.tv/iWiFi.
That's the one and only. If you like Siege, Minecraft, Connect 4, or Call of Duty.
Among Us.
Among Us. He's
you can
strictly
catch
Among Us now.
You can catch me with those Among Us clips.